All right, let's dive right in. Have you ever found yourself in prayer and felt like, well, you're just going through the motions? You know, that it's become more of a habit than a real, heartfelt connection. That's the exact challenge at the very core of the book we're exploring today. It really all boils down to this one single question, doesn't it? Is your prayer a ritual or is it a relationship? Think about that for a second, because the answer to that question is pretty much the entire reason this book was created in the first place.
Okay, so let's start with the core problem that the author really honed in on. He noticed this growing disconnect, a feeling in modern worship that something absolutely essential was missing. He saw that for so many people, especially younger folks growing up in the West, supplication was starting to feel kind of hollow. Those sincere from-the-gut calls for help or repentance, they were being replaced by just, rote repetition. And the real essence, that deep, personal, one-on-one connection to God, was starting to fade.
But here's the thing. Instead of just pointing out the problem, he decided to actually build a solution. And the result was this book. A genuine answer for a generation that's out there searching for that connection. And what's so fascinating is that this was never meant to be some huge global thing. It actually started really small as a personal guide for the author's own family. But he pretty quickly realized that this issue was universal, and he thought, wait a minute, why not share this with everybody? So you can see the journey right here. It went from that initial idea, just observing that prayer had become a ritual, to a full-fledged mission. And the entire project, from that first spark to getting it published, was a 2-year labor of love. And this brings us right to the core philosophy of the book. Really, you can sum it all up in 4 powerful words. From the heart, not habit. The book draws a really critical line in the sand. See, on one side, you have ritual exercise. It's just rote repetition, and it's missing that deep personal connection. But on the other side, you have heartfelt supplication. That's the sincere call that truly connects you to your Lord. And that, the book argues, is where the real power lies. To really anchor this philosophy, the author uses this incredible line from the poet Allama Iqbal. The idea is so simple, yet so profound. Just as speech that comes from the heart has a real effect on people, a prayer that comes from the heart, that's what has a real effect with the divine. It's not just words, it's all about the feeling behind them. Okay, so we all want to pray from the heart. That sounds great. But how do you actually do it? That's where the book stops being just philosophy and becomes a practical, hands-on toolkit designed to build that very bridge. I mean, for so many people all over the world, this is a major hurdle. How can you truly connect with a prayer if you don't understand the meaning of the Arabic words? It's such a common barrier to that deep connection everyone is searching for. And the book offers this really clever 3-part solution. First, you get the original Arabic script. Then, you get a clear English translation so you know exactly what you're asking for. And finally, for those of us who can't read Arabic, there's a phonetic guide to help you get the pronunciation right. It's a whole system for understanding the words, the meaning, and the feeling. But it's not just about the language. The book also introduces this really unique structure, and it borrows a framework from a place you might not expect: modern management. Yeah, for real. It's a method for bringing a special kind of clarity and focus to the timeless act of prayer. It's called the 4W format, and it's super simple. It breaks down the whole etiquette of prayer into 4 basic questions. Who are you asking? When is the best time to ask? Where should you ask? And what specifically should you ask for? It's a simple, respectful guide to help make your supplications more intentional. So we've got the why and we've got the how. But what about the what? What do you actually pray for? Well, this book aims to be nothing less than a complete A to Z guide for pretty much every part of modern life. And they really do mean A to Z. The supplications in here cover everything from the powerful prayers of the prophets in the Quran to modern-day struggles like succeeding in college or just dealing with stress. There's guidance for business, for health, and even for those sacred journeys like Umrah and Hajj. It's a true treasure house of prayer for today's world. And listen, this is so important. This isn't just some list of prayers. No way.
Each one is packed with the stories, the history, and the events behind it. It draws on the lives of the prophets and their companions. It totally transforms it from a simple prayer book into a rich, informational guide. So ultimately, when you put all these pieces together, they all serve one final goal: to empower you, the reader, on your own personal journey back to a more meaningful, more connected way of worship.
The book offers you a map, it gives you a toolkit, and it's a guide. But it leaves the most important question for you to answer. In a world that is just full of noise and distraction, what does a true, heartfelt connection really look and feel like to you?